You told yourself, I'll get to it tomorrow, or it's not a big deal right now. We've all been there. It could be a weird noise your car is making, a difficult conversation you need to have, or a bill that you've tucked away in a drawer. You think that by ignoring it, it might just magically vanish. But here's the hard truth. Avoiding problems doesn't make them disappear. It does the exact opposite. It multiplies them. Imagine a tiny snowball at the top of a hill. That's your initial problem. It's small, manageable. You can pick it up, toss it aside, or just let it melt. But if you ignore it and give it a little nudge of procrastination, it starts rolling. As it rolls, it picks up more snow, getting bigger and bigger, faster and faster. Soon, that tiny snowball becomes a massive, unstoppable avalanche. That's what happens when we avoid our issues. A small, manageable problem turns into a life-altering crisis. Let's talk about something we can all relate to: finances. Maybe you're avoiding looking at your bank account because you're scared of what you'll see. You know you overspent a little last month, but checking the balance feels like opening Pandora's box. So you don't. You keep spending, swiping your card, hoping for the best. But that small overdraft doesn't just sit there. It starts to accumulate fees. Then, because you're not tracking your spending, another bill bounces. More fees. Suddenly, that tiny financial blip has snowballed into a serious debt situation, causing massive stress and anxiety. If you had just faced it early on, looked at the numbers, and made a simple plan to cut back for a few weeks, you could have solved it easily. Instead, avoidance turned a puddle into an ocean. Strong people look at their bank statements, even when it's uncomfortable. They create budgets. They confront their financial reality head-on. Weak people hide the bills and hope for a miracle. This principle applies perfectly to our personal habits too. Think about that habit you want to change. Maybe it's doom scrolling on your phone for hours before bed, eating junk food every day, or skipping your workouts. You know it's not good for you. You feel the negative effects, the lack of sleep, the low energy, the guilt. But changing a habit is hard. It requires effort and discipline. So you tell yourself, I'll start Monday, but Monday comes and goes. Then it's the next Monday, then the first of the month. Each day you postpone, the habit becomes more ingrained. The neural pathways in your brain get stronger, making it even harder to break free. That one extra cookie becomes a daily habit, which might lead to weight gain, which can then affect your self-esteem and even your health. You see how it multiplies. A small choice, a minor indulgence, when ignored, compounds into a major lifestyle problem. Confronting it means acknowledging the issue today, not tomorrow. It means choosing the salad just this once, putting the phone down 30 minutes earlier tonight. It's about taking that first small, difficult step. And what about self-discipline? This is the bedrock of a successful life, but it's also one of the easiest things to let slide. Discipline isn't about being a robot. It's about doing what you know you should do, even when you don't feel like it. Let's say you want to wake up earlier to work on a personal project. The first morning, the alarm goes off, and it's warm and cozy in bed. You hit snooze. Just once. No big deal, right? But the next day, it's easier to hit snooze again. Before you know it, you've completely abandoned your goal. That one act of indiscipline creates a ripple effect. You start being a little less disciplined in your diet, a little less focused at work, a little less patient with your family. Your standards begin to slip across the board. The failure to confront that initial moment of weakness, that desire for comfort over progress, allows a culture of mediocrity to seep into every area of your life. Strong people honor the commitments they make to themselves. They fight that first battle with the snooze button because they know it's not just about 5 more minutes of sleep. It's about who they want to become. This pattern is incredibly clear in the world of business and careers. Think about a small issue at work. Disagreement with a colleague, a flaw in a project plan, or negative feedback from a client. The easy path is to ignore it. You don't want the confrontation. You don't want to admit a mistake. You hope it will just blow over, but it never does. That small disagreement with a colleague can fester, turning into resentment and a toxic team dynamic that poisons productivity. That tiny flaw in the project plan, if not addressed, can cause the entire project to fail down the line, costing the company time and money. That one piece of negative feedback, if ignored, could lead to a lost client and a damaged reputation. Successful entrepreneurs and leaders are problem solvers by nature. They actively hunt for problems. They run towards the fire because they know that's where the growth is. You build what I call proof of character. Think of it like working out a muscle. The first time you lift a weight, it's heavy and uncomfortable. Your muscles burn. The next day, you're sore. It would be much easier to just stay on the couch. But if you push through that discomfort and keep showing up, your muscles adapt. They grow stronger. Soon, that weight feels light. You move on to heavier weights. The challenges that once seemed impossible become your warm-up. Facing your life's problems works the exact same way. The first difficult conversation is terrifying. The first time you look at your debt is painful. But once you do it, the next time is easier. You are building your confrontation muscle. Strong people aren't born without fear. They just have a different relationship with it. They feel the fear and do it anyway. They understand that the temporary discomfort of facing a problem is far less painful than the long-term suffering caused by avoiding it. Weak people prioritize short-term comfort over long-term well-being. Take that tiny problem and deal with it while it's still tiny. I am a person who faces challenges. I am strong, and the more you prove that to yourself, the more it becomes your reality. Choose to be strong. Choose to confront. Start today. Thanks for watching. If this message resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you build a stronger, more intentional life. See you in the next one.